What's up, guys? We are here with Trophy Wives from Providence, Rhode Island. Go to trophywivesri.com. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to chat. Can you just introduce yourselves and what you do in the band?
I'm Chris. I'm the polite one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Chris. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Sam. I sing.
Thanks. Cool. And so you guys have some pretty awesome accomplishments. You shared the stage with huge names, Sum41, Yellowcard. You did an 8-day run on the 2015 Warped Tour. What qualities do you guys think bands need to succeed in today's music industry?
Persistence?
Yeah, I was going to say perseverance. It's funny they start with the same 3 letters or 4 letters.
Cool.
It's a week on Warped Tour will definitely show you what kind of effort it takes once you get out there. And
yes.
You just got to keep at it. You got to be ready for yeses and nos and all
it's a lot of work,
things.
though, definitely. Yeah.
Persistence, cool. Can you talk about that Warped Tour run? How did those dates get booked? How'd you get
Ernie
that?
Ball. Ernie Ball was the thing for that. We played 2 years ago now. We won our local Massachusetts Warped Tour Ernie Ball contest. So we played there, and then we were lucky enough to go to LA and play in their Final Four Battle of the Bands,
sweet.
where it all actually goes. It actually is not over once you stop seeing it on your Facebook feed for 4 months. The contest does continue all year, and that gave us the dates we played last year.
Cool. What tips do you guys have for other bands that are going on tour? What pieces of advice would you give?
Let's get to hygiene. Let's talk about hygiene.
Oh, yeah. Like, hygiene's important. Like, baby powder, baby wipes.
Yeah, we were just having a debate over here about which kind of baby powder is better, the Gold Bond or the non-stimulating kind.
See, the Gold Bond, like, kind of tingles, you know?
It tickles some,
right.
but some people say it tingles, but to others it tickles the fancy, so... You got to take care of yourself. That's the biggest thing. You got to sound good and feel good the whole time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any tips on bands that need to try to save money on tour as far as food?
Bring
lodging?
your own food.
Oh,
definitely.
peanut butter all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, peanut butter up. You
Bagels, too.
You can save a lot of money just eating simple stuff and not letting yourself do too much. You can also go to Waffle House if you feel the need to go out, because that stuff's cheap and good.
Cool. All right, so a lot of bands, they want to book out-of-state shows, but they don't know anyone in that state, or they know very little people. What advice would you give to those bands? How do you go about booking those shows?
You got to make friends, I guess, because you need to not only make friends in your hometown that book shows and put on shows and other bands that'll play with you, so that you can make other friends in other states, because you can reach out to a band. And what worked for us is just making friends with bands that like make the rules, like the guys we're playing with tonight and stuff. Just throwing them on a show at our hometown, going to play theirs, and even if it's only an hour or 2 away, it starts to branch you out. And slowly you meet other bands that are from an hour further than that, and
any advice about communicating with bookers, like some best practices, what not to do when talking to like venue bookers or talent buyers?
I guess just not being afraid. I think the biggest thing is not being afraid to both state your worth if it's something valuable. Like you have to be confident enough to put that out there. And likewise, there's no problem with saying that we haven't played there before. We won't draw more than my 2 relatives that live in that city, or there's no problem with being new to an area. I guess you just have to be honest, and you'll hopefully find opportunities.
Cool. All right, so you guys have some pretty sick shows booked. You got 4 Year Strong, Major League, Lions. Did you guys do that through an agent, or how did those shows get booked?
I guess it's just another example of making friends. They all came from different areas. Yeah, no, none of them are through one specific thing. We do have an agent. We have Donovan from Hail the Sun booking us, and he's the man. But the 4 Year Strong show came about because it's at a local venue where you mentioned we played a Sum41 and stuff, and we were lucky enough to get shows like that from our good friend Mike D there, and what a guy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Major League show is thanks to Rich, who's put on the show tonight. So I guess it shows if you make friends with multiple promoters and branch out, regardless of who's on your side, you'll...
Nice. Very cool. All right, so if there's one piece of advice that you wish you received when you were just starting out as a band, what you can each have an answer to this. What would that's a good question. Advice be?
That's a great question.
It's deep.
I think something we were told pretty recently by somebody that means a lot to us, that we look up to, is just that if you're at any point not doing what you really want to be doing, if something's not feeling like it's what you naturally want to go out and do, then you probably should stop doing that and start doing what you really want to do. Because there's too many things that are variables out there, I guess, especially in the industry, the way the music industry is now. It's there's so many bands, so many great artists and stuff. You got to do what you love to do. If you're not, then who knows?
No, Totally agree.
You can't regret anything if you do what you really want to do. So.
Totally. Did you have an answer as well, or?
No, that,
Okay.
I mean, that does kind of like fill it in. Like, you got to be careful and like just do you, or else you'll end up kind of like a little mixed up sometimes.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
I mean, this is a related question. So, what's your criteria for taking a gig? Like, do we want this? I mean,
We place our hands firmly around the neck of the promoter.
Shake them.
Just,
Is that like, it's like, I mean, usually we look for like, if we could travel there, like, does the cost that they can offer, like, value for that? If like so, and that's really all we need usually. Like, we
if
don't
money
really
adds up
care.
at all, like if we can justify it at all, meaning like if we could just basically get there and
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
And
cover
not
a
have
few-
it like really cost us that much, then we'll do
Yeah.
it. We don't need to really make anything. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah, we're at a stage where we want to play new areas and stuff,
Right.
and we
Yeah.
haven't been in a lot of the new areas we played last year since then. So we really just want to get out. We've been working on putting some sort of touring together for the spring, and I guess that's what brought us here. So hopefully it'll bring us further away as well.
yeah. And usually friends. Usually
Yeah,
if, like,
friends always
involves,
bring us
like,
out.
people we actually
Right.
know. We like playing with bands that we've
Mhm.
heard of. It's better.
Perfect. Cool. All right. So, you mentioned your agent. A lot of bands need to build a solid team to get to the next level. How did you find your team, and any advice as far as for other bands trying to find people on their team?
Your team can, like, people that are closer to you than you realize are going to branch out and grow in the music industry just the way you hope your band does. And like, just making friends with your local promoter might not seem like a big deal. It might only get you shows there, but then when that guy, you know, branches out and turns into a regional promoter and starts doing tour booking and talent buying and stuff, then it's a whole other scheme
Yeah.
of things. So a good friend of ours back home, Mike Karp, linked us up with our booking agent Donovan, because he'd been doing shows for Donovan through just the normal promoter to like agent
Yeah.
thing for a while, and that's what made us meet Donovan. And Donovan and Alex, our managers, actually had been in touch for over a couple other bands before. And it's funny when your team starts to meld in ways that they all kind of know each other, and then they work together and come to find other people that they know and mutually, and your team gets bigger. You know, the more people you put together, especially when they're networkers or when they're friendly people, and
Nice.
it's the kind of people we are. We just like to talk to people and make friends. So it'd be silly if we had people working for us, so we're the same way.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Great answer. Okay. Any last words for bands trying to reach their goals?
Just keep working. There's going to be things that nonstop will seem like the most exciting thing that you've ever accomplished, and the things that seem like they're the biggest letdown of all time. And they could come on consecutive days, they could come on consecutive months, they could be months apart sometimes. And you really just have to stay focused. You have to keep your eye on what you want to do, and just realize that all the while you're working on music, you're really not wasting your time. So
Yeah, you really just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
it's
And
the
then
only
do
secret
it some
there is.
more.
Yeah. Then when you're done with that, do it again.
Sweet guys. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you so
for
much,
your
man.
time.
Appreciate
it. All right.
Thanks for chatting.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.